Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. My name's Hello Good Trade, and I'll be your guide on today's market review. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow, so the market's closed, and on Friday we only have a half day, which is a bit of a bummer, so we're not really expecting much to go on. Similar to today, that's where we left off, right? We were talking about SETY yesterday, gave you guys just the best possible entry model in real time, which is hard to do considering you've got to edit the video and upload it, and then like make the thumbnail and the SEO for it and get it posted. It's just like that all takes a little bit of time, right? And then to be right in your call out as well, that's just fantastic, right? So we had a really nice entry here this morning that we reviewed in yesterday's video, and then we kind of seen this holding the 200, and the volume profile on it was looking good. So described all of that for you guys. We'll look at it on the bottom because I don't have VWAP on the top. And so I said, if you can reclaim VWAP, right, then you can take an entry, your stop loss below the reversal, right? And we did get a beautiful 4-to-1 trade, 50% from that entry given to everybody. So just fantastic news there. And then we were also talking about the S&P 500, right? Just recapping where we left off in last video for you guys really quick, just to toot my own horn. You got to love it. Let's go to the 15-minute here, and we had challenged our first downtrend, right? And it looked like we broke through, right? So we're like, okay, well, where do we go from here? Well, it's our second downtrend, and lo and behold, today we have that perfectly, right? Rejecting it throughout the day. So, Friday is kind of a wash because it's a half day. Who knows what happens, and whether or not that liquidity speaks for the whole market is going to be, decided next week, right? So just kind of holding our breath here at the downtrend for the broader market. And, do we break through? Do we challenge, all-time highs again and everything is groovy, AI bubble averted? Or is this, kind of cementing a larger retracement in the market? Because if we were going to do so, this is where it'll happen, right? So if you really do think the market is turning against us, fantastic spot to maybe scale out your longs and potentially scale in with some put options. I don't know if that's your style. Personally, I'm going to wait it out and see where we go from here. Wait for the confirmation before I make any choices on that, right? But what a crazy recovery, right? And then we've got a good example of this because we've seen Powell say, a lot of these companies do have revenue, and it's not the bubble that you think it is or that you're being sold, right? And today, just a good example of this, I feel like, for the metaphor of the shovel manufacturer or seller in a gold rush, right? Because it would appear we're in this, quote unquote AI gold rush, and we have AI NVIDIA selling quote unquote shovels to everyone who's going to farm gold, right? Today, ATON announcing 70 million in NVIDIA chips, which is a buttload. That's no joke, right? 70 million, right? That is aggressive in NVIDIA chips, which is a lot of shovels, right? So we see, a little hype, but then you haven't found any gold yet. You just have bought a shovel, which is crazy. But on the other hand, it's really good to be selling shovels, right? So we see that news come out, and then NVIDIA goes on a rip because they just sold another 70 million, right? It's just really good to be aware of. And you see a lot of this hype, right? Like, they got NVIDIA chips. That's fantastic. And I appreciate that they're, saying that their revenue is going to be, increased because of this. But, I'm not entirely sold on it, right? What I am sold on is what has already happened, and that was your purchase of these NVIDIA chips. So just, a good example for you guys I've seen today. Aside from that, I wasn't doing a lot of trading. I don't think I made a single trade today. SPRC was on the menu, though, and this kind of popped up this morning, held the 200, but midday lost it and bled down. We were in this big gap, and I guess you could say that that's a fill. I think a lot of people were expecting it to refill and then go from there, but not good enough. So a treasury of patents, it's like, well, what are they, for innovative medical endoscope systems? There's just not enough information. It's very much fluff PR, right? AMBR. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just happy that we have press releases coming out. They're not penny stocks and they're not Chinese stocks. That's kind of my prerequisite. And then, that for a healthy market, for at least, my day trades, right? So AMBR reporting third quarter financials and a share repurchase program. And then, if we want to, I think their revenue is up by like thousands of %, which is really good. Just toss that up here. Here's their share buyback. Gross profits up. Yeah, revenue 2,000% year over year. That's impressive, right? So, eyes on, and it had a wicked run because of that news. Like, that's really, really good. Holding on, and, we're going to add it to the watch list and see where that goes. And then Aton, we talked about that, them buying the shovel, which probably isn't great. Eyes on, what are you going to do with these chips? How is that, you're expecting 150 million over like 5 years or something. So, that's still multiples higher than its market cap. So if you can fulfill on that, then this could be good into the future. But right now, I don't know. Let's see you dig some gold up first with that shovel. And then SMX. Okay, so this was crazy. Actually, KTTA. We mentioned this the day before yesterday, right? We had the shout out for this. Here's yesterday. Here's the day before yesterday. KTTA. Announcing completion of cohort 7 of ongoing phase 1 trial of advanced cancer patients, right? So cancer, Alzheimer's, autoimmune diseases, always on our watch. Phase 1, not great. But delayed news. Holy Toledos. This thing went to the absolute moon this morning from 49 cents all the way to $1.30, just holding straight up on very little volume, which is kind of crazy. Something that you don't typically see that ratio. Quite skewed. And then, coming back after hours here. Isn't that interesting? So we're going to have to wait and see where this ends. Current day volume, 11 million, and 30-day average, 8 million. So, nothing too crazy volume-wise. It really did die down and wasn't able to hold that level of volume throughout the day, but many things don't. So again, we're going to watch this moving forward, right? And then back to today. Sorry. What do we have? SMX. So this is kind of crazy too. This was squeezing big time and is still squeezing. Oh my God, as the crow flies. I left off at $15 and we're at 33. What do you guys know about verified gold? I guess we're going to get into that tomorrow, maybe do a whole thing on it. So this pumped out PRs like an absolute madman today. Yesterday, SMX verified gold will trade at a premium, and here's why, right? Cool beans. I have not gotten into it yet, but what I did see today is 1 PR this morning, 2 PR this morning, 3 PR this morning, 4 this morning, 5 this morning, 6 this morning, 7 this morning, 8 this morning, 9 this afternoon, 9 press releases in a single day. What the hell? Who's even gone through all of this? So very impressive. I got to get into this, dive into it. The new standard of gold, verifying it on what appears to be a molecular level. So if you melt it down, like what is going on here? I got to figure that out. This is all in real time. I was kind of taking the day off. I was pretty sleepy today. I didn't expect a lot to happen in the market, but it's those days that you're proven wrong, and woof, what an absolute squeezer. from yesterday's news at like $5 to now 33 $34 here, which is insane. We got some additional levels if we really squeeze that, but yeah, I honestly didn't expect our 26 to hit. That was like my Hail Mary level. Congratulations, everyone. If you were in on this, that's crazy. Verified gold, ladies and gentlemen. And then KALA, I got to get out of there before that goes any higher, was another really nice play today. Popped up, died down, and lost the 200, but we had a wicked reversal signal here on low volume, which I wouldn't take, and that's why I didn't. But nonetheless, it did find its volume after that reversal, right? Because the volume during that reversal is nothing. And then the volume did come in a little bit after off that confirmation, which is fine. A penny stock, I don't care for it. I don't like penny stocks a lot. But what we had here was insider buying, right? A buttload of shares, right? So 900,000 shares of convertible, and then that's worth quite a bit, as well as a bunch of other non-redeemable preferred stock, which is also worth a bunch. So moving the company up, substantially, from that 70 cents to $1.10. So that's it, right? That's all I've got for you guys today. Bitcoin is up again. These things flow together. And I imagine the futures will still trade tomorrow. I don't really know on that. So we can watch Bitcoin while the market's closed, right? We can watch our futures. ES1 is typically where I go just for the S&P 500 mini to see where everything is going to open up Friday. I don't know if futures will be open tomorrow or not. And then Sunday night, I kind of come back here to get a feel for things as to how the market will open up Monday, right? Because the futures are going to open up before the general market, pre-market, right? So that's fine. Our put to call ratio, how is that? Down substantially. So, puts are falling off chain today, which you'd expect because we had a massive bullish run on the market into that downtrend, right? And then, kind of rejecting off of that throughout the day. So all eyes on this Friday and next week to see if we do reject and what that rejection is like. It could be a good opportunity, to do some SPY puts or some QQQ puts. But we see the shovel seller, which makes up the majority of the market right now. Honestly, it is what it is. They're still selling shovels like a madman. And I honestly don't see that ending. Where's iRobot, right? Where are the robots? We don't have them yet, so why would it stop? And even when we did get them, I just don't think it's ever going to stop, truly. Could there be a retracement and, the whole market pulls back as it does cyclically? Absolutely. And that's what we're going to be looking for here. But if not, all-time highs are on the menu if we break through. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate all of you. Have a fantastic day. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all soon in the GameStop review. What? He's talking about the meme stocks too? This guy is crazy. And, well, you got to make money, right? So I hope you enjoyed the call-outs, and, we'll continue it. We'll get better at all this into the future, right? So planning on maybe doing some live streaming on the channel in December for everyone, because I know people have a lot more time off. So it would be a good time to do that, and opening up the Discord for everyone if we can get 1,000 subscribers, which shouldn't be a problem considering the quality that you're getting here, right? All for free, right? Not charging anyone for anything. I know a lot of people like to do that, but just giving back to the community, right? So thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next.